All right, Coach.
I was clicking something on my computer. This is very unusual to see everybody with masks, face coverings on, but this is where we live in now. Adjust mine. Cal Baptist played an excellent basketball game tonight. They made 19 threes, the most I think we've ever given up. They made shot after shot, tough shots, and give them credit. Our players showed a lot of toughness to come back and put the game in overtime and then win it. We made some adjustments defensively, and finally we're able to challenge some of those shots. But our players are a work in progress. Our team, they're all new. They've never played together, never had a scrimmage. So it was interesting as a staff to see some of the combinations we had on the floor. And hopefully we'll watch the video tomorrow and improve on it.
Okay, let me take some questions here. First up, we'll go to Beth Harris. Beth?
Yeah. Hey, Andy. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Wonder your impression of Evan Mobley this evening.
Well, I thought Evan played a solid game. Defensively, he turned it up late in the game and then in overtime. He needs to be more active, which I think he understands. Their big guy went at him a few times, and so he's going to get better. He's going to watch that film tomorrow and become a better defender just in one day. Offensively, we went to him obviously a lot. He made some great plays, and he's learning like everybody else. I thought he gave great effort tonight. He's a winner, and he made a lot of great plays for his teammates tonight.
Just a quick follow-up too. What was it like trying to communicate with your kids, through a face mask?
Well, it's not easy. It's a little different. We just everybody has to get used to it. It's what we're just happy to be able to play. We're appreciative of what our administration has done. Mike Bone and our administration, Carol Folder, president, and the facilities department, all the things that they've done over the last few months just to allow us to have this opportunity. So if wearing a face mask is the worst thing, we'll take it. And but we are very thankful to be on the court right now.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll go to Shotgun.
Andy, what kind of defensive adjustments did you guys make?
Well, we tried to we were switching a lot of ball screens and they started to slip. Our big guys were doing a decent job. At the end, we soft hedged and let the guard go over and let the guards come to our bigs. So I thought that was effective. We took the three away a little bit down later part of the game and in overtime, and we just have to be better, more a sense of urgency. We were in decent position on a lot of their threes, but we didn't leave our feet a couple of times when we closed out. We didn't have a sense of urgency when players we knew were going to shoot the ball, and we told our players that the way that this team could beat you is from the 3-point line. And we obviously didn't do enough drills this week to really emphasize that point. But give Cal Baptist credit that they made tough shot after tough shot. And we were very impressed as a coaching staff with some of their players, some of the shots that they were making. And so we're fortunate to win the game. We'll all learn from it tomorrow.
When you say more sense of urgency, do you think it was kind of a wake-up call for the guys? I mean, their first time playing together and playing someone else, but you think this kind of
when
woke them up?
when I say sense of urgency, meaning you can be in a defensive position, but there's a difference between leaving your feet and challenging the shot with 100% of your energy versus being in position and challenging it just a little bit or not challenging it at all. So our defensive position wasn't terrible, but when guys get hot and they get confident, you have to ramp your defense and your energy up even more and run them off the 3-point line. And so our team will certainly learn from that. I'm glad it happened in our first game because we're going to play other teams that shoot the ball at a high level. They spread the floor and we had our two bigs. We played most of the game with two bigs. And so it is challenging when you have someone 6'10" like Isaiah Mobley and Evan 7 feet chasing guards, Chavez Goodwin, and they're out there chasing guards at the 3-point line because they played with 4 guards all night. So we'll learn from it, but we certainly challenged our shots a little better when the game got tight.
Okay, we'll go a couple more questions. We have Mark Culkin.
Hey, Coach. Did the game go basically the way you thought it would be? I mean, you look up at the stats and you guys are dominating rebounds, and if you look at the other side and you got more turnovers than assists, and we don't need to bring up the free throw disparity, but what did you take away from this game? Did they play the way you anticipated, I guess?
Well, we were up 7 and 9. Every time we got a 5, 7, 9 point lead, we either missed a layup, missed free throws, we did something, or they made a tough three. And we just couldn't pull away. And that's a credit to the other team, Cal Baptist. But we gave a lot of points away. We missed a lot of free throws. We missed, I think, 6 dunks and layups. I think all 3 of our bigs missed at least 2. Evan missed 2 dunks. Isaiah missed a couple of layups. Chavez did as well. So we got to be able to finish those. Those are when you're throwing lobs and you're a foot above the rim and you just don't make it. Well, they make 95 or 99% of those usually. So it was just it was frustrating because we were playing okay and we just couldn't pull away. And then when you do that, you let a team hang around and get confident, and they're shooting so well from the 3. That's what happens, and that's why the game went into overtime. So yeah, you're right. We gave points away.
Okay, we'll take a last question from Rich Rubin. Rich, you might be muted.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Tim. Andy, what about the play of 3 of the transfers that played a lot of minutes? Edie, Peterson, and White. What did you think of the play of those 3 players?
I thought offensively, Taj Edie really helped us. I thought Drew gave us some big minutes late. Isaiah White had 10 points on some energy and some toughness. He made 1 3. So they were all solid offensively. Defensively, they I think they're going to watch that video tomorrow. We show the team on Thanksgiving morning. Though all 3 of them have some work to do defensively to get to where we need to be. But it was their first game. They're all winners. They come to practice every day, and they're just trying to learn our system. So I think their best basketball as a group is going to be ahead of them.
Okay, Andy, thank you for joining us. We'll let you go. We have 2 players coming up here momentarily, and Ethan Anderson and Evan Mobley. And Andy, we'll see you on Saturday.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Have a great time with your family, and we'll see you Saturday.
Everybody else asking questions.
You guys are on the sides. Good job tonight, Ethan.
Okay, we have Ethan Anderson with us and Evan Mobley. Again, please raise your hand if you have a question, and I'll call on you. Otherwise, keep yourselves on mute, please. And we'll start with shotgun.
Hey, Ethan, what was kind of the strangest part of this night? I mean, playing with no one in the stands and, just with piped in music and different things. What was the weirdest thing for you?
Oh, yeah, like you said, absolutely, the no fans part, the atmosphere, and fans don't get enough credit, I think, in all types of basketball, all types of levels, and in terms of bringing the energy. So we had to create our own energy is something that we've never had to experience. So usually our fans give us a little bit more energy, but playing without them certainly felt different. And I think it worked to the other team's advantage.
Rich Rubin.
Ethan, what were they doing offensively that was difficult for the guards to close out on the threes?
Well, they had a terrific system, I think, in terms of they were setting back screens, flares, slipping it sometimes, really keeping us on our toes. And we surely had too many defensive slip ups, leaving too many shooters open in the beginning, which was led to later in the game them shooting right over the top of us. A lot of our times we were there, but we were just missing that extra effort in order to make them miss. But credit to them, they made a lot of tough shots, definitely. And next game, we got to really pay attention and see how we need to close out better and be in our spots earlier to prevent that.
Okay, Chuckney?
Hey, Evan, I know this wasn't the way, like the atmosphere wasn't probably what you imagined for your college debut, but how do you think it went for you and how did you feel out there making your USC debut?
I felt pretty good. A lot of my teammates helped me, got me the ball in the right spot, and then on the kickouts, they hit their shots. So I'm pretty glad with the performance.
Coach Enfield mentioned kind of your commitment to defense in the second half. What did you kind of tell yourself to really dial in on that end of the floor?
What did you say? Sorry.
It's okay. Coach Enfield mentioned your commitment to defense in the second half. What did you kind of tell yourself? What was the message from your team to kind of dial in on that end of the floor?
We just tried to lock in. They did a good system, and we were missing out. It's a little echoey. But we were making a little bit of mistakes on the other end, and I just try to lock in and create defensive things for my team.
Just mute yourself.
Let's go to Beth Harris.
Hey, Ethan, how much could you hear any of the coaches, yelling at plays and different things to you through their masks?
Well, it was definitely a few plays I had to be repeated several times because I couldn't hear Coach Enfield or our defensive coach, Coach Harder, Capco through the mask. And it certainly makes it harder, but as a sophomore, I'm glad I have that freshman year under my belt with such a successful team. And so I don't have to take orders as direly from them, so they trust me to be able to run plays that I think is right in the moment and be able to make reads and be able to tell my teammates what the coach would have told them anyway. So my experience has given me the ability to really write that off, but certainly when I'm trying to hear what the coach is saying, it's very hard to hear him through the mask.
Ryan Gorsey, do you have a question? You're on mute.
Yeah, Evan, obviously 21 points, 9 rebounds, a heck of a collegiate debut, but, seeing you on camera afterwards, it was just sort of a little bit of a blank look. Was that mainly due to how weird it was? Was this anywhere close to what you imagine your collegiate debut would be like? And how weird did that, that empty arena, the team you guys were playing against, the fact you guys haven't played together, how weird did that all feel?
It felt pretty witty, but overall, I feel like we played pretty good as a team. The blank face was probably because I feel like we could have played a little bit better, but overall, we got the win, so it was all good.
Shotgun?
Both of you guys, how did that block that Evan had in overtime and then scoring on the other end, how started like an 8-0 run? How did that kind of spark you the block on that one on the defense side?
Yes, definitely. That was a very important play because at the end of the game, we kept saying, let's make them drive to the basket because very few times they scored when they actually put the ball on the floor. Just catching and shooting was where they were killing us at. So when we finally forced them to drive to the basket, and we knew what the result was going to be. So when he got that big block, that gave us the chance to run on transition and be able to make them guard us off the dribble and guard us when we're moving and cutting instead of just in a half-court set where they're already set up. So that big block shot, it definitely helps our momentum and it helps us flow into our offense easier.
I feel like we just try to really lock in on the last play. As a team, we all fixed our mistakes. So I feel like that's why we went on that 8-0 run. It was mostly the defensive side. It wasn't necessarily the offense that created anything, but I feel like our defense really stepped up in overtime.
Okay, we have time for 2 more questions. We'll go to Mark Culkin.
Either one of you, but Evan, Ethan, when Cal Baptist took the lead in the second half, coach called a timeout. Can you talk about what was being emphasized in that huddle?
Well, surprisingly, actually, coach he didn't stress too much about it at all. He just drew up our next play, and I knew, and I told the guys in the huddle, let's just keep running our stuff. Let's not try to make a home run. There's no 5-point play we can get here. So I just wanted to get us 2 or 3 very good shots that we was able to get down the stretch, and one of them didn't go in, but the other 2 did. So just in those situations, as a point guard, I was in those last year a couple of times where it's late and we're down by more than a 1-possession game. And so we really had to lock in, and I wanted to stress to the guys that we don't need a crazy 3-pointer or anything like that. We just need to run our set, get our open look, and we're going to live with the results because our team is so talented. So that's exactly what we were able to get.
Final question, Reagan Griffin.
Ethan, a little bit of a rough go of it at the beginning of the game, but I think you made probably the 2 most important plays of the game, one being the steal and the other being the assist to Tajidi to ultimately send it to overtime. So talk to me a little bit about what it means to stay involved in the game when maybe the shot isn't falling for you and you're not involved, particularly on the offensive end.
Absolutely. Like you said, this team, I think they look to me to really spark our defensive efforts. And that being said, I'm going to be guarding the best guard throughout the season. And like you said, those big steals like that, I need to come up with those because it provides energy to the team. And my biggest identity is that I can help the team in many different ways. And I was able to hit that 1 3-pointer, but the other 2 didn't fall for me, which is fine in my game. I'm not going to hang my head after a missed shot. I'm going to be able to affect the game in other ways, where it's a rebound, like you said, the assist or the steal. And then on offense, late down the stretch, I was able to get 2 layups just because the other team was playing off of me or they tried to take away another option. So I was able to get my shot. So definitely coming to the next games in the future in the season, I'm going to try to stay aggressive and make the other team have to help on me so I can get open shooters. Or if they don't help on me, I'm going to just go ahead and knock down my shots.
Gotcha. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Okay, fellas, thank you very much. Ethan, Evan, great job. And media, we're going to cut it off here. Thanks for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.